Hello, everybody. Yeah, so today, I'm sitting here just at the apartment. I'm waiting to go into the hospital and start my day. Um, Starts with like labs first, so they'll pull blood, and then I have to go up to the pharmacy and get some medication, and then back down to the fast track team, and then I'll probably have to wait a little bit. The appointment I have isn't until 1300 or 1 o'clock. So yeah, I'll have a little bit of time in between. It's my day that like I'm due to go in to get all this medical crap done. And I shouldn't say crap, but it's just after a while, it's just like, oh, geez. But, it's blood work, a lot of testing, a lot of visits, a lot of people have to see you and look at you and ask you all kinds of questions. And what does that transition to me as a patient is I got to go in, give blood, wait around, talk to people, wait around some more, wonder why I'm there, and then be there all day. That's pretty much what that means. So that's today, and I'm about to go do it here shortly. Last night was a tough night. I had a bit of a rough night, and I'm going to talk about it because it's not very often that I talk about this topic, this chunk of this fight, my fight. It's probably, though, one of the most important chunks of the entire fight, and it's actually the hardest for me personally to talk about, and that is the mental part. So last night and today is a tough day. It's a mental day. I have them not very often, but it does happen. You can only run from it so far, And for some folks, they have it more often than other folks. And guess what? It's okay. You're going to have mental breakdown days. Today I'm just emotional. Shit. Everything just seems to affect me right to the heart. Like there's no armor. You can watch a video and it just, start bawling your eyes out for no reason. It's just a day like that. And I'm having that day. I don't know why, but it is what it is. And how do I handle it? I just let it happen. There's never, I'm probably, honest to gosh, I'm probably one of the toughest people a lot of folks ever met in their life. Through my career, me as a person, I'm normally a pretty intense person, and just what I've done with cancer is beyond what anybody should ever have to deal with. And even I, as that strong of a person, realize the importance that it is okay to cry. You're never too big, you're never too tough. You might think you are, but someday it'll sneak up and it will get you. You can only run from it from so often. So I choose to just face it at that time and just deal with it and let it happen. And I'm glad that I do that. I talk about it. I'm lucky to have the most amazing support team. My wife, my family, my friends, all of you folks. I don't even know what to say. I don't have the words for it. But hey, today's one of those days, and what do I do? I let it happen. I realize that I feel what I feel for a reason. And then I realize how lucky I am to be able to feel that, because this could make you so numb to the world. The world's not a kind place. You are all out in it. We know this. It's not uncommon. And especially when you have kids, you realize, with their innocence, and especially that is, you shield a lot of that from them until a certain age. And then they find out that the world's not, kind. It's just, it's easy to be hard about things, I guess. And today more than others. Our generation and the next generations to come really have it cut out for them, because it is truly a different world. What do I do most of the time on days like this? I fall back to things that I love. So music, I love all kinds of music. I fall back to that. Why? Because I find it is so beautiful. Like, you can find, music is just such a quick and universal catalyst. You can find a song or a genre or something out there to entertain you, or that makes you understand the feelings that you feel. Music does it for most folks. And I turn to music and just, honest to God, wonderful and beautiful things that people create. So music and just art, like these things of that nature, that's what does it for me. Because there's people out there making wonderful, beautiful things, and that's so cool. And there's no politics and bullcrap in it, and that's it's so clean of a catalyst. So I really enjoy that. I talk about it, to identify it and realize, and I heal those wounds and deal with it and do what I have to do to, recognize that that's happening. It's happening for a reason. I should confront it and deal with it and let it happen, embrace it, and then build myself stronger and move on. So today, a lot of the mental issues that pop up in Sean Crumb's head, things that, I had a rough night, like tossing and turning and thinking about these things, and when my brain takes off, look out, it really takes off. There's, I personally am wondering, did this work? Was it worth it? It's hard, being away from your family. It adds a dimension to it, and I'm constantly wondering, oh man, did it do its job? Did I do my job? Is there something I could have done better, that could have changed the outcome in any certain way? And you never know that. You don't. So you think about that, and it's like a loop over and over again. I think about, my wife and kids, and just have hope, You're like, I hope that they understand this, and, because I've been away for so long at this point now, and they grow up so fast. It feels like you just missed a lot of their lives, and to them you did, because they don't really have they haven't been blessed with the longevity yet. They've been here for a short time, so to me, to them, it's been a long time. Where to somebody older, it's just a drop in the bucket and worth it. So I think about my wife and kids, and it's kind of like a negative positive thing. I think about, you think about how bad this has affected everyone, and you think about how you could change that if you could, and you wonder to yourself, quite simply, did I do a good job? And they're happy. So yeah, I guess in that aspect, yes, it is. And but you miss them. It's so hard to do this. Just from the family standpoint, it's not an easy adjustment. Having two young kids, because they always have those questions, the ones that just cut you right in half. You're like, oh, why'd you have to ask that? It's bound to happen. So I think of my family. I think of all my friends, and just everybody that's been behind me. So like right now, I'm reflecting the entire battle, the entire fight, the entire 12 years is just like running through my head, just like a culmination of things. It can be overwhelming. You have to talk about it. You have to. This is too heavy, even for someone like me, to bear on my own and come out in a positive place on the other side. So you have to share the load. You have to, even as uncomfortable as it is, it's not comfortable for me to talk about this in public. It's not. It's like admitting your own defeat. Why would you do that? We just weren't raised that way. And it's breaking all protocol to say it, but I don't care. Like, you have to do this. I wish it was easier. Yeah. I wish it was easier to deal with that. See, normally at this time, coming up on Memorial Day, it was a very special day in my household because I do have friends I lost through my service. And my wife has been very respectful of how I handle that. Being married, I guess, to a soldier isn't easy, and it truly is a lifestyle. But it can be that way for anyone, not just a soldier. It can be that way for anybody out there. Be it Memorial Day or a holiday that you did something special with your family and they're no longer with us. It could be something like that. It's the same feeling, just a different example. So you have to be respectful, and my wife and they are super respectful for that. But like, this has always been just a tough holiday for me to endure, anyways, and having to do it here kind of sucks. I didn't expect to be here this long. I can't say that this was hard to do. I think it's harder to live this experience than it was to actually do, because I'm used to doing. When you're in the cancer fight, in my shoes, you're used to, I guess, putting up and shutting up. You're always doing the putting part. Because you're always fighting the fight 24/7, and it's the hardest part is the silence, the waiting. That's the hardest part, because the demons then come out like in your head. With what ifs and could I do something better, and I'm waiting, and what's it gonna be? Did I do something? Did I not do something right? It's the worst. It really is. And like right now, that's tough. That I'm running into that because shit. I've been here for 6 months. It's coming up on 6 months. I was only supposed to be here for 2. In that 6 months, I was on the ICU. Was on a ventilator. Came off the ventilator, which is amazing. Did bouts and rounds of chemo, which was unlike anything I've ever done. Had amazing results from that. Then did a drug trial. The first in human drug trial. And now I'm sitting here drinking a coffee, waiting to go into the hospital to do stuff, wondering if it was all worth it. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. Just that. Not to mention doing it with 2 little kids, a wife, family at home, a house, property. Trying to keep things going, trying to keep everybody relaxed. My wife's amazing, so she made it really easy, but I can see why people fail. I can see why people give up, and I can see why people don't even attempt to do this. I really can't see it. It's not... I thought it would have been easier. I really do. I thought that it would have been much more simpler. Just me being on my own, just lone wolfing it like I used to. It wasn't easier. It became hard, but like I said, this is just a mental day. I have these every now and then. It's important to address them. It's important to get that off your chest. It's important to talk about things like this. It's still the only thing, like for somebody like me, it's the only thing that reminds me that I'm still human, from what I've been through and how I've been rebuilt with, different parts and things of this nature and put back together and ripped down and rebuild over and over and over again. Yeah, it reminds me that I am still human. And that's good. I'm glad to be it. So, what's on the agenda for today? Well, blood work at 11, and then an appointment with the fast track people at 1. In between there, I gotta go pick up medical stuff up at the pharmacy. I gotta get meds. And then I think I have to get IV hydration, so I have to get an IV. That could last for 3 hours. Oh, they're cool. I'll ask them to, bump it up. So I could be in there for, an hour or 2. Because they'll increase the speed. And then I guess I get to come back home. Well, back to the apartment here. And then I think that I don't have anything to do for the next couple days, like the weekend. But then everything starts up again on Monday. So that's kind of my schedule. It's my day. But that'll be all day. It seems like only a couple things, but you spend a lot of time waiting. So it transitions into being an all-day affair. Yeah. But, today, like I said, the worst thing for me to do today is, on a mental day like this, where, you're having a mental episode or it's not a mental breakdown. It's just a mental day. You're always in the fight and you're battle focused. You're doing what you need to do. You're always staying positive. You're working no matter what it is, how great, how small, how big of an issue. It doesn't matter. You take it on and you flip it and run with it in a positive direction. You're always trying to better your situation and find a way to better your situation. So you're I call it battle focused. You're always in it. You know what I mean? You're taking things on. You're adapting and overcoming things. You're making things work, but everything's being moved and placed like Tetris. In your life, like the game Tetris, you're placing things strategically to move in a direction that is more positive than what you're in, and it doesn't leave a lot of time for you to address the most powerful thing is your mind. So every once in a while, when things calm down and everything is running as it should, that's when it hits you. It just comes up and bites you right in the rear end. So that's to be expected. It should be treated as important as anything else, if not more important, because where your brain goes, your ass follows. So if you got to keep your head in the fight and stay in a good, positive place, and you got to deal with these feelings. You got to deal with the emotions. And for me, that's tough. I mean, there's a lot of feelings and emotion that goes into it. There's a lot of people with thoughts and prayers. There's a lot of people that are fully invested into what I'm doing. There's a lot of you say, well, that doesn't matter. It does matter, because I want this story to end as positive as it could possibly end for everyone. Like, I want it to be a wonderful story to tell. I don't want to have a bad ending to this. Not only, and that's because this fight is a lot bigger than me. I'm here doing a drug trial, for stuff that they're gonna learn, and technology that's gonna move forward. So, I set my sights really high, and I made it there, and here we are on the back end, wondering, holy shit, I hope I did everything right. And I hope it works, So there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of things that go into this, and it's a lot bigger than myself. So, knowing that, when I have days like this, I'm despite, being comfortable about it, despite wanting to do it, despite, that voice in the back of my head that's like, just suck it up and keep going. It's just like anything else. I ignore that. I actually stop and say, whoa, I'm feeling this way. Why am I feeling this way? What caused me to feel this way? Is it a valid feeling, or am I just being emotional, from the drugs? Like, what could it be, And it's quick, a lot of my success is that I'm quick to recognize this, the mental days, and then I deal with it, and by dealing with it, I come out stronger on the other side. I truly do. So, it turns into a good thing, and that's what made me a little bit more comfortable about opening up to people, especially all of you, opening up how I'm feeling and how I deal with it. That's what made it a lot easier for me to do that. So that's a mental day for Sean Crum. So I actually have to get going because it's coming to that time. I got about 45 minutes until showtime starts at the hospital, so I have to get my stuff together yet and physically get down to the vehicle and then drive over, get in the parking garage, and then somehow find the energy, the stamina. I'll have to dig down deep to make it. I call it walking the mile, because it is literally from the parking garage to where I need to go for my appointment. It's a long walk. And M&D Anderson is a huge freaking campus. Like, these buildings are massive. I still get lost. Honestly, there are places that I have not even seen yet. I've been here for 6 months, all day, every day. So I gotta walk a long ways, and I don't know if I'm able actually. I don't think I'm actually able to do it, but I'm gonna try. If I get in trouble, well, I just sit down and just say, "Hey, call transport to come pick me up." But the problem is that you're gonna wait a long time, and you probably miss your appointment because they're just so backed up. But I'm gonna give it a go. It's cold. That's why I got a coffee today. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm like, shit, I need all the help I can get. So I'm going to get going. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and a great weekend. You know, just be careful. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.